What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here, and Michigan has done it, defeating Washington 34-13 to win the national championship. I'm going to be going over my post-game reaction and analysis to the game, my key takeaways, as well as what Coach Jim Harbaugh, Jesse Minter, and JJ McCarthy, Blake Corum, tons of Michigan players, what they said post-game on finally finishing the job and winning a national championship. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, we have done it. Team 144 has done it. Michigan football is on top of the college football world, and they are national champs as Michigan beats Washington 34-13 to finish the season off 15-0 to win the national championship. What a season, what a story, but what a final game and what a showing from the defense, and also the explosive plays from none other than Donovan Edwards and also Blake Corum. The whole team came to play, and it showed, especially in the first quarter. Michigan got off to a fast start. The big game Donovan Edwards showed up on the big stage. He had 6 carries for 104 yards and 2 touchdowns, and right away to open the game up, looked like he was going to get stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Then he just bounced out and took off. Nobody could even catch up with him, and that's how Michigan got on the board first. Michigan's defense, they forced a field goal, and then Donovan Edwards does it again. He averaged 17.3 yards per carry. Meanwhile, Blake Corum also ripped off a long run early in the first half, but he finished with 21 carries, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns as well. And the Michigan defense, they did their thing just like they have all season long. And against going up this Washington offense, they heard all that noise. They heard everybody talking about how explosive this offense was, and they shut them down to a season low 13 points. Also forced 2 interceptions, one by Will Johnson to start the third quarter, which was an amazing interception, and then Mike Sainristil basically called the game and put the thing away. Michigan outgained Washington 443 total yards to 301 total yards for Washington. Washington had 255 passing yards, 46 rushing yards, and they basically just abandoned the run game in the second half. Michigan, on the other hand, 140 passing yards and 303 rushing yards. They asserted their dominance at the line of scrimmage early, and they basically gave Washington a warm welcome to the Big Ten. JJ McCarthy connected on a couple plays. He got the job done. Definitely, could have played better, but you know what? This dude, he knows how to win games, and that's all you can ask from him. He went 10 for 18, 140 yards. Also used his legs there in the second half to pick up, a key first down that really flipped the field position game for Michigan. As far as receiving goes, Colston Loveland had 3 receptions for 64 yards, had a big one late in the fourth quarter where Michigan finally got to go up by 2 possessions, as I feel like, all Michigan fans were that's what they're waiting for Michigan to finally put the game away. And that drive, with about 7 minutes left, they finally did that. Roman Wilson also had 3 receptions, 54 yards, and Cornelius Johnson had 3 receptions for 25 yards. And Michigan kept this Washington offense, these receivers. Roma Dunze had 5 receptions for 87 yards, and Michael Penix Jr. went 27 for 51 for 255 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He had a great season this year, but this Michigan defense, man, they were getting all after him, and they definitely proved today that they were the best defense in college football this season, and potentially one of the best defense ever in college football. Now, Michigan, they only had 1 sack in the game, but you could tell Michael Penix Jr., they were getting pressure on him. He had to get rid of the ball, and Kenneth Grant had the only sack in the game, as that came, I believe, in the second quarter. But man, what a game. Michigan, they led the whole entire game, and it was close in the second half. Kind of felt like Michigan, they should have put this game out away early already, but credit to Washington's defense. They really came through, really stopped the Michigan offense in the third quarter, but then in the fourth quarter, Michigan finally got it going and put the game away. Let me know your guys' thoughts are on this national championship game, but Michigan did it. Team 144 did it. Coach Jim Harbaugh did it. These players, these coaches, the staff members, everybody on Team 144, they envisioned this and they got it done, and they are national champs now. As a Michigan fan, ever since Jim Harbaugh got here, the ups and the downs, to finally get to this point and watch Jim Harbaugh lead this team in his alma mater to a national championship, it's so special, man. Everybody in the media saying that he couldn't beat Ohio State, check that off. Couldn't win the Big Ten, check that off. Couldn't win a bowl game or win a CFP playoff game, check that off. Couldn't win a national championship, check that off. He proved the doubters wrong, the haters wrong, everybody he proved wrong. It was a special night, and just awesome to see Harbaugh, this Michigan team, hoist up that national championship trophy. No matter what the future holds for players like J.J. McCarthy, coaches like Jim Harbaugh, we're going to enjoy this one for a couple weeks, and we'll worry about that stuff later, but we're going to enjoy this one for now. But now I wanted to go ahead talk about what some coaches and players said post-game. Harbaugh said, "Glorious win. I could not be prouder or happier of our team. 15-0, took on all comers, last one standing. It's a great feeling." He also said, "For me personally, I can now sit at the big person's table in the family. They won't keep me over there on the little table anymore. My dad, Jack Harbaugh, won a national championship. My brother won a Super Bowl. And now Jim Harbaugh is a national champion here at Michigan. And of course, will forever go down as an all-time great head coach here at Michigan." Harbaugh also said about the season that it couldn't have gone better. It went exactly how we wanted it to go, to win every game. And he said the off-the-field issues were innocent, and we stood strong and tall because we knew we were innocent, and I'd like to point that out. He also said these guys are innocent and overcame that, and it wasn't hard because we knew we were innocent. So yeah, that's really what I wanted to say. It went exactly how we wanted it to go. It went exactly how we wanted it to go. Harbaugh also said, that someday when they throw dirt on top of me, or if somebody is eulogizing me, if they would simply say he was a Michigan man, that would mean everything to me. Also do want to mention that there should be a parade in Ann Arbor. The date and time is to be determined, but the Michigan players do want a parade per Jim Harbaugh, and Harbaugh said, "Who doesn't love a parade?" And Jesse Minter also spoke post-game. He said, those guys played with no fear. He said, honestly, it was another week of hearing all about the other team's offense and how good they were. And he said, you know what? Nobody really talked about how good our defense was. And he said, we took that personal. J.J. McCarthy post-game, he also said, I'd say we came a long way, but in order to accomplish things like this, you've got to go to those dark places where everything's not great. And he said just the response, the urgency right after that last game last year, it was different. I knew it just from being on the podium last year and saying we would be back. I knew the guys that were coming back. I had this feeling that it was going to be right where we are right now. And he said just all credit goes to the players on this team, everybody in that facility, Coach Harbaugh. That man, he's the reason we're here today. So just all thanks to him and to everybody on the team. Blake Corum also said that for me, when we all decided to come back, we knew what it took to get here. And when we all said we were coming back and the guys that had no other choice but to come back, we had to pay attention to details. He said, but it's the little things, the details, we really locked in on those details. All the way back to winter workouts, summer workouts, we were trying to execute at a high level and pay attention to detail. I think that's what separated us a lot. Donovan Edwards also talked post-game, and I said this year, I realized that I was stressing myself out and I was putting pressure on myself that I shouldn't. He said my therapist talked to me about putting expectations on myself, and you shouldn't do that because when you don't receive that expectation that you put on yourself, you're just going to get into a cluster in a repeated cycle. And I said today, I just relieved myself. What a beautiful feeling. Donovan Edwards, he really came through in the clutch there to begin the game for Michigan, and without his hot start, I mean, this would have been a much closer game for Michigan. But Michigan, Jim Harbaugh, Team 144, They have done it. Michigan football on top of the college football world. National champions. And that's a beautiful feeling. That's a beautiful saying. And to all Michigan fans out there, let's enjoy this one. And, again, no matter what the future holds, let's just sit back, relax, and enjoy this national championship that we now have. But Michigan defeats Washington to complete the job. The job is now finished as they beat Washington 34-13 to complete the 15-0 national championship season. With that being said, that's going to wrap up today's video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure you guys go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I'd greatly appreciate it. But other than that, we will see you guys in the next video. And of course, go blue.